very good evening to you all, and welcome to our second and final edition of News Tonight. Today, Tuesday, the 21st day of July 2026. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyomo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has paid tribute to former Deputy Prime Minister and a Germany Member of Parliament, Moses Ali, describing him as a lover of peace and a champion of development. The president was at Parliament to pay last respects to the fallen veteran leader.
The body of the fallen statesman arrived at Parliament by 7:30 a.m. The Speaker Jacob Oboth, Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, Government Chief Whip Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, and members of Parliament received the body. The body was later laid at the Parliament foyer for the public to pay their last respects. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni later arrived and laid a wreath on the casket, signed the condolence book, and met the bereaved family in the VIP lounge. Among those present were the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, the Prime Minister and her deputies, the Leader of Opposition, Joel Senyonyi, ministers, and both the current and former members of Parliament. President Museveni eulogized the late Moses Ali as a true peacemaker who prioritized dialogue over confrontation.
He was a lover of freedom. This one I came to know because although he had been with Amin in the coup of 1971, I later on heard, and the family cannot tell you more, maybe we can even document it. Wakina mama wanaweza kutuambia zaidi juu ya hii mambo ya wakati wa Idi Amin. Sisi tulikuwa tuko hapa, lakini nilikuwa nasikia kwamba Moses Ali alikuwa hapendi mambo ya Idi Amin ya kuua watu. I heard that Moses Ali was not happy with Idi Amin killing people. And that's why I had been even removed from the army, pushed in the civilian side. Then I remember something about some friction between him and Idi Amin. This was during that time of Idi Amin.
He remembered Ali as a passionate advocate for West Nile. According to Museveni, the late Moses Ali consistently pushed the government to develop the region, a call that has since been fulfilled.
There is the road from Nebi to the border with Congo, and along there up to Aru. There is this other road from Pakwach to Rhino Camp, and then along the Nile. We are going to work on those roads. But remember what I've been telling you in the campaign. People don't sleep on the roads. They sleep in their houses. So the issue of the household incomes for West Nile is something we should agree on. Ever since the tobacco got problems, we need new enterprises. And I have given guidance on all this time on those issues.
Parliament later held a special sitting in honor of the late Moses Ali before the body was airlifted to Adjumani for burial. Moses Ali was born in 1939 and died at the age of 87. He will be buried on Thursday, July 23rd in Adjumani district. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Now, the body of former Member of Parliament for Adjumani West constituency and former Second Deputy Prime Minister, the late General retired Moses Ali, has arrived at his hometown in Adjumani. The UPDF chopper carrying the body of the late General Moses Ali touched ground at the Openzinzi airfield in Adjumani at 3:55 p.m. To the reception of waiting crowd. Now, this arrival marked the beginning of his final journey to his final resting place. The body was moved from the chopper to the waiting UPDF funeral van bearing the colors of the national flag, and those are that's the video that you currently are seeing there after the chopper had touched down, the chopper carrying the body of the late General Moses Ali. And of course, from Openzini airfield, the body was transported to General Moses Ali's home in Abidi Chaku village, Adjumani Town Council. The UPDF brass band was played to welcome the body with a solemn music tribute.
Yeah. There is the arrival of the late retired General Moses.
Please, as I've briefed you,
where he came from.
just behave.
There are three entrances into this place, the main entrance, and there are two other entrances. But not everyone can fit inside here. We are appealing those who are outside, remain where you are.
That was General Moses Ali's body that arrived at his ancestral home earlier today, scheduled for burial to take place tomorrow. Now to other news now, and rumors of leadership uncertainty, questions over political detainees, and growing criticism that Uganda's Human Rights Commission has gone quiet remain quite critical. But Commissioner Crispin Kaheru says the institution is neither leadership nor inactive, insisting that the chairperson, Mariam Wangadia, remains legally in office pending approval of her resignation note. Now, his remarks come just days after commission teams inspected detention facilities across the country and visited former Ethics Minister Miriam Atembe following her release on bail.
At a time when public confidence is being tested, the Uganda Human Rights Commission is answering its critics head-on. Commissioner Crispin Kaheru says reports suggesting Chairperson Mariam Wangadia has left office are premature. He insists a resignation notice only takes effect after approval by the appointing authority.
Yeah, it's true the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission submitted a notice of resignation. Now, as the Attorney General of Government stated last week in Parliament, a notice of resignation is not equivalent to an immediate resignation. The appointing authority has to approve.
Beyond the leadership debates, Kaheru says the commission has been busiest where few cameras ever reach. Just days ago, its teams inspected Kampiringisa National Rehabilitation Center, Hitaria Minimax Prison, Nakasongola Prison, and Machon Bay Prison. This was meant to check detention conditions, hearing inmates' complaints, and pressing authorities for action.
And we met several inmates, monitored their conditions. We followed up their complaints, and we engaged the prison's authorities or the authorities of these facilities. And for me, there's no any other illustration or depiction that the Uganda Human Rights Commission is fully in operation.
The commission has also come under fire for what critics describe as silence over the arrests and detention of opposition figures and government critics. These include Elias Lukwago, Dr. Kiza Besje, and Miriam Atembe. But Kaheru disagrees.
Where matters are before court, the law requires us to respect the judicial process. We cannot become another courtroom. But that has never stopped us from protecting the rights outside the courtroom. Just last week, we spent considerable time with Elias Lukwago at Machishon Bay Prison. We listened to his concern, and we immediately followed up those issues that relate to his rights, including access to appropriate medical care.
For a commission accused of saying too little, Kaheru argues the loudest human rights work is not always the most effective. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thanks, Henry, for that story there. Now, one of the accused persons in the murder case of Major Muhammad Tamale Chigundu and bodyguard Sergeant Stephen Mukasa has told the International Crimes Division of the High Court that he was tortured into signing a charge and caution statement admitting responsibility for the killings. Nyanzi Yusuf Siraje alleges that security operatives subjected him to severe torture while in custody at the Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence CMI headquarters in 2017.
The accused in the case include Sheikh Yahya Ramadan Mwanje, Buyondo Muhammad, Sendegeya Abdul Wahab, Ibrahim Samwanga, Nyanzi Yusuf Siraje, Karyang Abduru, and Nuruddin Lutaya. Prosecution witness ASP Gloria Lukundo, who recorded a charge and caution statement, testified that Nyanzi Yusuf voluntarily admitted participating in the murder of Major Muhammad Chigundu and Sergeant Stephen Mukasa. However, during cross-examination, Nyanzi Yusuf rejected the confession, telling court it was obtained through torture. The panel of justices ordered a trial within a trial. Appearing before Justices Susan Okalanyi, Alice Komhanj Kauka, Vincent Wagona, and Judge Boniface Wamala, Nyanzi testified that he was arrested on 18th May 2017 at Zana Kontosi Zone in Kampala district, where he had reportedly gone to treat a patient using herbal medicine.
That of 18, I was beaten. To beat everyone. They're asking me for a gun that should away some chicken.
He told court that he was taken to CMI headquarters in Nimbuya, where security operatives repeatedly demanded to know where the firearms allegedly used in the murders of Major Muhammad Chigundu and AIG Piandulu Felix Kawes.
Told them I don't have a gun, I've never had a gun, and I'm not a police officer. That took around 4 days.
According to Nyanzi, after enduring torture, he eventually signed the charge and caution statement admitting responsibility for the murder of Major Muhammad Tamale Chigundu and Sergeant Stephen Mukasa.
ababiri nga bamukutte ebigere, omulala n'atuddeko ku bisambi, omulala nkutte mu bulago bw'ati.
One was sitting on my thigh.
Ne bazze mu kinnya wansi.
Took me back to the beach.
Batuuka mu kinnya ne bakwata kaamulali omulala n'omuteeka mu nnyindo.
Court adjourned the matter to 23rd July 2026 for the continuation of that trial within a trial. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Central Authority on Development, IGAD, has convened a national consultation bringing together key government institutions to advance Uganda's ratification and implementation of the IGAD Protocol on Free Movement of Persons. The meeting seeks to develop a cabinet memorandum that will pave the way for executive approval of the regional protocol. We have more in this story.
Government ministries, departments and agencies have convened in Entebbe for a national consultation aimed at strengthening Uganda's commitment to regional integration through the IGAD Protocol on Free Movement of Persons. The consultation seeks to develop a cabinet memorandum that will secure executive approval to fast-track the ratification, domestication and implementation of the protocol. The protocol will promote the movement of people across the IGAD member states, enhance labor mobility, trade, regional integration and cross-border cooperation.
The IGAD region is hugely affected by lots of insecurities. You've seen of recent, so many refugees have been coming from Sudan, but in the past, and we are still also hosting refugees from other countries, Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, but also Eritrea. So the protocol also supports the aspects of displacement, that it will be very easy for people to gain entry but also gain full residence in country with clear guidelines. The cross-border movements that happen due to trade need to be strengthened, and this protocol provides the guidelines and framework.
And Uganda is really just affirming this because we are ahead. In most of the countries we have exempted the visas, especially those ones under the East African community. There are remaining some few. So it means a lot to the security, national security, when we come together, and also economic development. It's about numbers. So at the bloc, we got the bigger bloc of IGAD. I think Uganda is benefiting from this free movement or protocol. It doesn't mean that we go away with regulations. The controls are in place.
The meeting has brought together technical experts from institutions responsible for migration governance, border management, legal and policy coordination, security, labor, health, finance and regional affairs to review the proposed framework and build consensus before it is submitted to the cabinet.
We remain committed to provide the required technical assistance, policy advice, capacity building support, and evidence-based guidance to help ensure that the implementation of the protocol is aligned with international standards, human rights frameworks, and good practices in a manner that leaves no one behind. I'm confident that the deliberation in this workshop will make meaningful contribution to Uganda's decision-making process and help advance a shared goal for a regional integration and social justice.
Affairs meetings and others. What the IGAD protocol is all about is that Uganda at this stage has signed, but we need to ratify to benefit from the benefits of being member of the IGAD member states. As you know, no man is an island and no man can develop on their own. You've seen how the European Union has developed because of being integrated in terms of free movement. We'd like to see a situation where we're also able to move with our national IDs among the IGAD member states. We'd like to see a situation where your cousin in Kenya can move to Uganda freely with a national ID without having to go through all the immigration procedures. We'd like to see cross-border trade. We'd like to see our border communities develop, and that will be possible by ratifying such protocols.
The outcomes of the consultation will inform Uganda's position on the protocol and support harmonized migration policies that facilitate the free movement of persons and safeguard national security. Zahra Abigawa, UBC News.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, has reaffirmed government commitment to put in place several means to support young innovators. Dr. Zawede said innovators create solutions that benefit communities. She was presiding over the launch of UJ Connect Entrepreneurship Training and Mentorship Program Batch 4 2026 at the ICT Hub in Nakawa.
4 years ago, Uganda and Japan, through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, launched the Innovation Support Program known as UG Connect, which has since produced several successful stories. The 4-year program has come to completion, and another batch of 83 young innovators have been selected for further training and mentorship with support from experts from Japan. Presiding over the launch, the Permanent Secretary at the ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting innovators at all levels to produce products that answer societal problems and compete in the global market.
You're the force that is going to help us to get there. When you build good solutions, you're going to create employment opportunities for other people. You're going to create employment for yourselves. We are going to get solutions to our problems as a country, and we shall be a better Uganda.
Dr. Zawede says many people start ideas and die along the way. Therefore, with collaboration partners, the government has focused on building human capital and priorities following the National Development Plan 4.
One of the priorities that government has for this term and the National Development Plan for term is to build human capital, to develop our human capital and capacity to be able to support our priorities as government. How do we support agro-industrialization? We need human capacity, and we need solutions and technology to help us in that area. So we are building and nurturing capacity for agriculture, for mineral development, for tourism, for the various service centers, and also to support even us ourselves, science and technology.
Chief Representative of JICA in Uganda said innovation has been a key driver of Japan's development. He urged the selected participants to remain committed and use technology to develop solutions to challenges facing communities.
I encourage you to focus on not only creating new technologies, but on solving real problems faced by your communities or your people.
The principal of Uganda Institute of Information and Communications Technology in Nakawa, Dr. Frederick Kitogo, pledged that the institute would continue striving to remain a leading innovation center.
Today, we celebrate more than the launch of another cohort. We reaffirm our shared commitment to empowering the young innovators.
Some innovators shared their expectations from the program and spoke about the challenges facing innovators, urging the government to address them.
Financial challenges comes to funding our already existing innovations so that we can push them.
How do I confront people like sponsors? How am I very flexible with government policies and the changing dynamics in the world currently?
Cayenne Faith and Andrew Sebida, Huibis.
Uganda's first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East Africa and Community Affairs, Rebecca Ditwala Kadaga, has applauded non-governmental organizations for complementing government efforts by improving access to clean and safe water. Speaking during the launch of a campaign to donate water storage containers to schools in Jinja City, held to mark Nelson Mandela International Day, Kadaga also expressed concern over the current developments in South Africa, saying they undermine the values and legacy that the late former President Nelson Mandela fought to uphold.
We are very grateful from our friends, the Mandela Watching Fellowship, Aluminium Uganda. We are very grateful. We are going to make use of these purifiers, and we are sure our children, we are going to eliminate sicknesses from our children, and our children are going to stay at school.
We shall be following up on all the filters we have distributed in schools. First of all, to ensure that learners are using the filters according to how they are supposed to be used. We also follow up to ensure in case there's any breakage as spouts of water, we come back and make those replacements. We do this mainly to ensure that learners do not get the waterborne related illnesses, so that they can stay in school and they benefit out of the education that is being offered at schools.
And our message is simple. To all parents, to all young learners, please make an effort to ensure that the water you're consuming is safe, it is boiled. A good recommendation would be to get yourself a purifier water filter in your homes, so you don't have to boil the water and you'll still guarantee yourself great health. We have celebrated Nelson Mandela International Day here at Spire Road Primary School in Jinja. We are grateful for our head teacher who has hosted us together with the entire community.
When we invest in clean water, we invest in everything that follows. And when we invest in children, we invest in Uganda's future. The young people in schools across Jinja and Busoga will be tomorrow's leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. Initiatives like the Clean Sip campaign and Smart Girls remind us that lasting solutions require collective action. No single organization, government, or sponsor can do this alone. So we encourage continued and deepened partnerships among governments, among the private sector, communities, schools, and citizens, because when we work together, we can go further.
For your contribution, because the alumni have come back and they're giving back to the community. They're not just sitting on their knowledge. Organizing this activity, and to thank you for providing water. Water is very, very important for the children, for the communities. You know, children staying in the school without water, first they're not even focusing on what they're studying. The girls, they need water. You can't have a toilet without water. You should be able to wash your hands, wash your pants, clean yourself. So water is very, very important.
LC1 chairperson candidate Bart Kakoza has taken his campaign to Katugo Masungwe village in Zirobwe Luwero district, promising to fight corruption, promote peace, strengthen agriculture and establish a village circle to improve livelihoods ahead of the July 28th elections.
Bart Kakoza launched his campaign from his home in Mutundwe Zirobwe with a convoy of supporters. He campaigned while driving a tractor before later addressing residents in Katugo Masungwe village. Residents gathered to welcome Bart Kakoza as he arrived in Katugo Masungwe village. He later took journalists on a tour of his farm, showcasing his agricultural projects and explaining how they have created jobs.
Potential
On land disputes, he says he's not a land grabber and pledges to serve residents by promoting agriculture through distribution of improved plantain seedlings.
Tanyufu nnyo eri gavumenti olw'ekikola kino kyereese okusobola okutuddako naffe wansi tukyuse ku bukulembeze bwa wansi.
Joseph Chigozigola reporting for UBC.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro
What if accessing government services became easier, faster, and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or a country, Service Uganda Centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda Centers, bringing services closer to the people.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
MTN voice bundle. Yeah. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. The United Returnees Organization has renewed its call for stronger support and collaboration to help Ugandans returning from the diaspora reintegrate. The organization says skills development and investment guidance advances Uganda's Vision 2040.
The United Returnees Organization was established by returnees to support fellow Ugandans returning home through relief packages and reintegration programs. The chair lady, Lydia Mwesigwa, says that the organization has over 500 registered members contributing to the achievement of Uganda's Vision 2040.
The idea of how we can help the returnees to be reintegrated into the government sector. And it is amazing because they are not left out to go out into their homes and stay there, but their skills and values are fully utilized. Therefore, we want to say thank you so much, Euro, for bringing up this initiative. Under my leadership, I'm really grateful and humbled for this opportunity. We have a relief package for the returnees that come voluntarily, those who come at their own will, whereby they want to be investors. They come with their small package or big package, and we help them to set them into the systems of how they can be reintegrated into the country.
The organization's patron, Muhammad Bagonza, urged returnees to study Uganda's economic projections and invest in priority sectors. In 2025, the diaspora contributed $2.5 billion to Uganda's economy.
Of course, the country should know that the diaspora contributes. The last year, diaspora contributed 2.5 billion United States dollars, which is approximately almost 10 trillion. That money is not very small to the economy. It contributes 4.45% of our GDP. So this is a sector which we should harness from, and the government right now is coming with very, very serious strategies on how to deal with this group.
Hilary Emmanuel Musoke Kisanja added that the organization is showcasing the country's vast investment and development opportunities to rebrand Uganda internationally.
Resources. You can see experts training in science and technology. For example, as the manager of the Presidential Initiative on Skilling the Girl and Boy Child, we have identified instructors from Turkey who are teaching now, trying to teach leather and textile in our skilling hubs. Therefore, this exposure and this technology and skills transfer is very crucial to the country in that it can contribute or add value to the existing education systems. Also, investing as the diasporians who have returned is key. You are very much aware that the country is now looking at the ATMs, focusing on agribusiness, focusing on tourism, focusing on manufacturing and science and technology.
The Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Kampala, His Grace Paul Samogirene, has urged young people to fear God, uphold moral values and reject corruption. He made the call while confirming more than 600 learners at St. Donozio Chisubi Boys School.
Like the Catholic communities, because the way they guide our children, the way children they come to understanding, this is a fear of God.
As a Catholic founded school, we impart some Catholic values and faith in our learners, especially the Catholics, so that they can grow in faith. That's what leads us to invite the Archbishop, after thorough preparation of the children in faith, so that they are confirmed and then become strong believers in the Catholic Church, the faith they follow.
You see me, that I was here a long time ago before you were born, before even your parents were born. And we went through here, and at the time things were tougher than they are now. But we were able to go through school, and that is what we are. Some of us are priests, others are catechists. We have seen Father Kawesa here. We have seen the head teacher, our teacher here, Mr. Kaizi. We have seen others. Through school, we are able to go to achieve what we have achieved and to contribute towards the development and progress of our country. So be responsible students, be attentive, be obedient. I know you are very smart in attire. I can see you are very smart, but also become smart upstairs here so that you may be able to do something after going through this school.
To Masindi district now, where Bujenje district councillor in Masindi district, Vabwetera Nicholas, has urged communities to adopt self-help in order to develop their own areas. He was speaking during the handover of shoes to pupils by She Cares Foundation in Masindi district.
Or we wanted to do something in the community that would create smiles through shoes. And we posted on our media platforms asking people and even the people around us, do we know any community where people really need shoes? I mean really need shoes. And Mihembero, Church of Uganda Primary School, was identified. You need the shoes, right? And so we went back to our community, our supporters and all the people who believe in us, and were able to raise a number of pairs of shoes that we are going to share with you as we also create the smiles as we believe, right?
The support of the learners, as you know, the UPE, to support the learners. The government has done the renovation of our 2 classroom block. Then they have given us a latrine.
So when I see She Cares Foundation coming in to support these schools, it is a great achievement. I'm happy for that, and I want to say that this is where we need to go. So these children need a lot of support. So I'm happy when I see such organization coming in to support our children.
Cervical cancer and prostate cancer have been identified as the worst types of cancer for women and men, a situation which calls for a change in the human lifestyles through eating a balanced diet, avoiding excessive alcohol and smoking, and responsible sexual behavior. This was during a one-day free cancer screening camp at Ntinda's St. Luke Church of Uganda.
Ahead of the cancer run of August this year, the essence of us doing this is that early detection reduces the mortality death in cancer patients significantly. So we are doing this activity in the community to support our natives here in being able to check for prostate cancer for the men, breast cancer and cervical cancer for the women. Please inform your neighbor, tell someone to tell someone. We will be moving around the community in the course of this month as we prepare to attend the cancer run this year.
And cancer does not only affect one person or the other, it affects everyone. It is very dangerous in the way that it does not segregate. It affects the young ones, the old, the rich, the poor, people with disability. Each and everyone can be affected with cancer.
I happen to be one of the beneficiaries. I've done the screening, and I'm a resident from Nigeria. So my result came out and it is okay. So I'm happy.
I've just gone through a cervical and breast cancer screening. As a beneficiary, I think it would be nice that every woman goes through this kind of thing, this kind of test, because
this year we're doing it again because we want to create a lasting impact, and we want to continue doing this every year for these people to come and do the screening.
Smoking, prevent yourself from smoking. You'll be able to prevent the risk factors of cancer. Do not use alcohol because it is a risk factor for almost all cancers. And then
The United States Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approved the development plan for a lower-cost version of a leading cancer immunotherapy, marking a significant milestone for Uganda's pharmaceutical research and biotechnology innovation. The FDA issued detailed preliminary guidance to Dave Biopharma founder and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Matthias Magola on the company's proposed cancer drug biosimilar, paving for the next phase of scientific evaluation and regulatory engagement.
Make them, it's very expensive and takes time. But what we can assure you that once we have the money.
The initiative of Matuga-based Dai Biopharma Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Matthias Magola, has welcomed the United Nations Food and Drug Administration's approval of the development plan for a lower-cost version of one of the world's leading cancer immunotherapies. The FDA's guidance provides a roadmap for strengthening the scientific evidence to support the future U.S. license application.
Uganda, we import more than 85% of all essential drugs that we use in our hospitals, in our clinics, in our... We want to be able to change that landscape. We want to be able to manufacture all essential drugs here in Uganda. So we are able to supply the country, supply the region, supply Africa and the world.
The development falls under the FDA's Biosimilar Development Type 2B Engagement Program, through which the agency provides product-specific scientific and regulatory guidelines on analytical testing, manufacturing process, quality control, and clinical study designs.
So the ambition is huge, as you can see. We'll be manufacturing, we're setting up almost 30 manufacturing units, 30 different factories to be able to manufacture all those drugs and vaccines. So we want to be able to manufacture these drugs and bring about affordability and availability. Because these drugs, especially even for the test cancer drugs, they are not available in Africa. They are not. And yet those are the drugs that you need to be able even to cure some of these rare sicknesses.
Cancer immunotherapy has transferred the treatment on several aggressive cancers, including melanoma, lung cancer, and kidney cancer, by enabling the body immune system to identify and attack cancer cells more effectively.
Because our factory is built to meet the most stringent standards, like the US FDA, WHO standards, EMA is European Medicine Agency. Any stringent standard in the world, we are being constructed to meet all those standards. So our plan is to be able to make drugs for the country, but also to export the rest of the world.
Deborah Namamonde, Tanaba Kenneth, UBC News.
We'll now take yet another short break, but when we do return, we'll be looking at the latest in business.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way. To move our people, our goods, our ideas across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
The Uganda Virus Research Institute will be celebrating 90 years. Established by the Rockefeller Foundation in 1936, the Uganda Virus Research Institute has played a very important role in understanding viruses, outbreaks, epidemics, in training and in policy. As one way of marking the 90 years of Uganda Virus Research Institute, we are setting up a museum or an archive to depict what UVRI has done over the years. With funding from government, we have been able to renovate one of the residential houses you can see behind me to turn it into a museum of the Uganda Virus Research Institute. We have put up show cupboards. We have started collecting some information, but there is a lot to be done. It is for this reason that we are appealing to everyone to give us ideas, to give us the funding, but also to give us the encouragement so that this project can be completed. As you can see, this is a very good place where we can have visitors, students. We shall be putting up some areas where students can be taught the history, but also to learn about viruses. We have expanded. We are now on an area of about 70 acres. We have labs, we have buildings, we have residences, we have a lot of facility. We want to put all this together, to put together our history so that future generations can see where we have come from.
Fellow countrymen and women, I'm Dr. Rosemary Nansuga Seninde, the NRM Head of Mobilization. I call upon you to take the forthcoming local council elections very seriously, because the leaders we shall elect at this level will be responsible for the government programs that will directly benefit all of us. such as PDM, Emyoga, health services and others. Remember, it is at the village level that government meets the people. Fellow Ugandans, once again, I thank you for entrusting His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni with an overwhelming mandate for the next 5 years. He has formed government which is already delivering. Please note that NRM commands resounding support at both district and sub-county levels across the country. Therefore, don't waste your vote. Don't create divisions at the grassroots. Vote NRM candidates on the 23rd for women councils and 28th for the village chairpersons for proper coordination and implementation of the NRM manifesto. May God bless His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. God bless NRM and God bless Uganda.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at the latest in business. President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania has laid the foundation stone for the Tabora-Kigoma standard gauge railway, a 506-kilometer line valued at $2.7 billion. The new railway will extend Tanzania's central corridor to Lake Tanganyika, strengthening trade links with the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the wider Great Lakes region.
The Tabora-Kigoma Railway is the second and final corridor under Phase 2 of Tanzania's standard gauge railway program. Once completed, the country's modern railway network will stretch to approximately 2,809 kilometers.
Kigoma ina nafasi nzuri kijiografia na kimkakati.
Kigoma is strategically located as a gateway for trade and investment, which links Tanzania and its neighboring countries, among them Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia. Therefore, the cargo ships we have unveiled today and the standard gauge railway, when completed, will be critical in our social and economic aspirations.
Vitakuwa ni nyenzo muhimu zitakazotuwezesha kufikia maono na matamanio yetu kama nilivyoyasema na kama ilivyosemwa na wengine hapa.
The ceremony marked the official commencement of construction on SGR Lot 6, a 506-kilometer section that will extend Tanzania's modern railway from Tabora to the shores of Lake Tanganyika. The project is estimated to cost about $2.7 billion. We're optimistic that with the success of this project, Tanzania will be able to lure investors to come and invest in the country's transport and blue economy, and thus positioning the country as the trade hub of choice in the region. The groundbreaking comes nearly 4 years after the project's initial signing, although construction on parts of the route had already commenced ahead of the official launch. This initiative has been hailed by various stakeholders in the transport and logistics sector.
Here we'll be connecting to the DRC. From here we'll be connecting to Uganda in future. To here we'll be connecting to Burundi. So this one is a very, very important node in the Central Corridor line. But also from here, by water, we'll be connecting to countries like the DRC and also Burundi and Zambia.
As part of the visit, the President also commissioned 4 new 2,000-ton cargo vessels and inspected the upgraded cargo terminal at Kigoma Port. The simultaneous investment in rail and leg transport underscores Tanzania's commitment to develop an integrated multimodal transport system along the Central Corridor. Dennis Igora for UBC.
Under the directive of President Yoweri Museveni, the Emyoga team, led by the National Coordinator Rita Namuwenga, has commenced the monitoring and assessing the performance of Emyoga SACCOs in 5 divisions of Kampala. The team started with Machinde division, where they found that SACCOs that received money are progressing well.
Monitoring unit has started the inspection of SACCOs in divisions of Kampala with the aim of assessing the progress and the challenges that need to be addressed. Led by the National Coordinator of Emyoga Program, Rita Namuwenge, inspected different SACCOs in Kabalagala and Mulungu. In Mulungu fishing site, the SACCO has so far received 70 million and were able to multiply the money and develop themselves. The chairperson of Emyoga Fishermen SACCO in Mulungu narrates how the Emyoga money has changed their livelihood livelihoods and commended President Museveni for the support and shared some of the challenges faced, hence appealing for more funds as the circle continues to grow.
Twasooka ne tufuna obukadde 30 bweddu nga twakava mu COVID ne twekola emirimu nga bwe wali asiimye. Taata bwe twamala ne tufuna miliyoni 2. Taata n'osiima n'otwongera endala 2. Bwe twogerera kati taata twakafuna miliyoni 7 bweddu.
Asman Basalirwa, the circle secretary, also shared the circle's achievements.
Omwaka oguwedde twasobola okuba nga tusevinga obukadde bwali 10 mu emitwalo 96 mu 1,000 bwe twasevinga.
In Chibuli, the team inspected Boda Circle. Boda riders appreciated the president and Emyoga management for saving them from money lenders.
President Museveni yaleta Emyoga kuba yatuwonya ba money lender. Money lender ye muntu akuwa emitwalo 2 n'atwala TV n'atwala amagoba nga tegali nayo. Kati ffe tubadde tuli wano ne batusomesa ku Myoga.
We have got seed capital of 30M and we have got additional grant of 20 million, twice, that is 70 millions. We have so far achieved a lot. This program, it was not easy at first because we were not aware of it, like we were ignorant of it.
Sophia Nakauchi, coordinator of Emyoga in Makindye Division, says out of 70 circles, 80% are performing well and some have retained the money for others to also benefit.
We take this opportunity to thank His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa nti Muzeeyi Ju that he put the government money or Emyoga money in these people of Boda Makindye Division, and these people are so much appreciative.
The national coordinator of Emyoga, Rita Namuwenge, and the acting RCC of Makindye, Gift Atwaile, urged Emyoga beneficiaries to utilize the money properly to be able to access more funds from the government.
I appeal to the beneficiaries that they should use this money very well. We are here on the presidential directive that this year is a year of no sleep.
The inspection of Emyoga Circle's performance is continuing in all 5 divisions of Kampala to assess the overall performance. Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
Thanks, Winnie, for that story there. Now, hundreds of students have graduated in various disciplines during the 28th Abstinence Hope International graduation ceremony, with education leaders calling on them to demonstrate resilience, patience and innovation as they transition into the world of work.
Delivering the keynote address, the project coordinator Kabale, Greta Chigezi Ndahayo Clever challenged the graduates to view their qualifications as the beginning of a lifelong journey rather than the final destination.
So every graduate should know that now you have already planted a seed. You have to take care of it, you have to nourish it, and so on. Later, you'll be able to have a harvest. Don't think to get something big at the first. You have to be patient.
Every graduate possesses the potential to achieve great success, provided they continue to nurture their knowledge, remain disciplined, and exercise patience.
Sitereranga omuntu tateredde. Mpulira bubi nga abantu bali bubi. Naye osanga abantu omusumba mu kanisa ng'abuulira enjiri. N'asika ssente mu bantu. N'abakola byonna byakoze naye nga tabawadde sikiru yonna. Wano wenjagalira okugamba abasumba bannange abasumba tuyimuke twembulesinge sikiru eno tugitwale mu makanisa tuyite abantu bajje basome kusoma kwa bwereere tubacharginga just graduation yaabwe tetubacharginga sente n'olwekyo mbadde mbasaba oluusi bambi balwana n'okufuna material no material n'olaba nga bagula kasawo ka sementi ne kafuuka ekizibu okagula okukola flower pot. So ebintu bino tubiteekamu okwagala.
The director Abstinence Hope International, Isaac Luganda, emphasized that meaningful achievements are built over time through commitment, continuous learning and resilience. Luganda noted that every student joins an institution with unique talents and abilities, which education refines and equips to address society's growing challenges.
All entered the AHI Uganda doors with raw potential, but today they are stepping out as masters of their own destinies.
Graduates pledge to apply the knowledge, values and practical experience gained during their training to solve real-life challenges and contribute meaningfully to the country's socio-economic transformation.
The world is running on products because the camera that this man is using is a product. The clothes that I'm putting on, these are products. The shoes that I'm wearing, they are products. The bar and liquid soap that we are making, those are all products. So what does it mean? The world today is running on products. So through making these products, it is going to shift us to another level.
Abstinence Hope International conferred qualifications across a range of disciplines, marking another milestone in its commitment to producing competent and ethical professionals. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Sports news now, and we look at football, where several football players under their former footballers initiative have completed the Federation of Uganda Football Association's Football Administration and Management course. John Van Sentamo gives us more.
We have not yet finalized the issue of the constitution. We have not yet finalized the issue of membership clubs. We do not know the real members of drafts in clubs. Whenever he's about to go for an election, he inflates the membership. When you try to trail all the kit where those members are, their clubs, their payment and everything, those people are nowhere.
He wants to forge things and re-elect himself. Whatever things he's trying to do, he has forged the clubs, which does not exist. We don't know how we came up with it because we don't have an we have never held an AGM, because it is after an AGM that that sits, or it is the governing body of our federation. But nothing like that has ever happened. So we don't know how we came up with all these things, even after the ruling of the National Council of Sports, guiding him, telling him what to do, but he has never done anything.
Sorry, the number you have dialed is busy. Please try again later.
We do sincerely apologize about mixing up of those stories, but that story was about the Uganda Drafts Federation, UDF, that is facing mounting criticism from its members who have accused the current leadership and Dr. Danny Sabidie of presiding over a series of scandals that tarnished the federation's image. Now, the members also allege that the leadership has clung to power with plans to organize an AGM, which they say is against the federation's constitution. And as you've just heard in that telephone trial there, the efforts to get Danny Sabidie on phone were futile. And that brings us to the end of the second and final edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it's been Senyomo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanagoma, wishing you a blessed night.
Inspiring Uganda.
The institute started small as the Yellow Fever Institute, discoveries here and there, and working in the field, but it has become now really a big institution, not only in terms of research we're doing, but also the infrastructure, the labs. Of course, we need to do more, but as you can see, it's a large lab. We have a number of staff. We have more than 800 staff working with us, some working with our partners, the MRC I've mentioned, the CRP program that we have here. So we are really part of the Ministry of Health, and we sit, like a director, I sit on top management, policy.